Great and beautiful morning to you all, wherever you are joining me at this hour. I will say welcome to 113 edition of Investdata Trading Academy live with Ambrose. I will say that the market for the week, after seeing the market oscillation globally, but here back home, we saw the market last week looking up for the market and for investors here, and that is good for us. But as usual, I will still emphasize that whenever you are trading, any instrument that moves, especially you are trading stocks, you are trading a commodity, you are trading a currency, or whichever you are trading, always use your stop loss, know your entering strategy, your exit strategy, your profit target. All these are were managed from your trading goal or objective to guide you to know exactly what to do at the right time. And these are the beauty of you planning your trade. If you don't plan your trade, automatically you have started with failure already, because once you don't plan your trade, you'll be tossed up and down by the market direction. Yes, as we speak now, I will tell you that the stock market across the globe looks good at this hour, as many markets are already in green as we speak, which is a good one. And this is as a result of what positive job report that emanated from US market, corporate earnings, and also technicals are also looking good. When you say technicals nearly across the market, yes, there's oscillation and sentiment, all that. There is positive technical sense of sentiment and psychology of investors in this market. And there have been more trading trading news, and their indicators, or their what we call a candlestick, is also guiding them. But that we are seeing a positive, despite the market that have suffered losses, in matured market, we are seeing some of them recovering. While here in the market, you can see that our market also trying to make a leap up, which is very good for the market here in local market. But as we speak now, I'll tell you that as major indices in this market, are oscillating into rising above 50 days moving average, and while some markets were seen that some also falling, around the 200 days moving average, scenario in the short term for you as an investor or trader. These are the things that happen in the market. Technically, I'll tell you that most of the markets are looking are lacking liquidity due to what continued hike in rates by the central banks of the world, which is not only a market. Most markets in the world are lacking liquidity because continuous rate hike are kind of moving from equity to other investment instruments because of high rates that we are seeing in this market, and that have put most of the stock market. But because of the positive earnings and also the positive sentiment of investors, some sectors and individual stocks in this market are also looking up. For me, it's a good one for the market. U.S. markets, indices, as we expect now, as we talk now, as we are saying right now, open higher for today. Likewise, that of European stock market are also in that direction. While Asia and Africa, are trading on a missed position in this moment for this hour. We'll take it for Africa. Here back in Nigeria, we can see that the market has oscillated this morning, open in green as we speak now. That marginally pulled back into red position with a fraction down. For me, these are the things that's happening in the market. But for Europe market, I will tell you that their market has been supported by the impressive quarterly earnings, and also the merger and acquisition deals that are also coming up in that environment. As all eyes are on US expected inflation data and that of UK GDP report any moment from now. These are the things that also they're also looking at. Despite the oscillating oil price in the market or in the world, oscillating and also pulling back at the same time. This has also continued to kind of send some signal that inflation might likely also slow down as a result of also we can see that grains are gradually moving away from Ukraine to the world. If that is sustained, we can see that for the past 4 days now, almost 5 days, we are seeing prices of commodities dropping. For me, it's a good one. Also, you can see that in US, the price of gasoline have dropped almost to $4 down. That's also a good thing for you, that you can see that the little increase in in a in output at the same time fear of recession, and see that this also slowing down the price of crude oil. But to speak now, crude oil remain below $100, trading at 93.99 no dollar per barrel at this hour. For me, these are the good things for the market. But we believe that as far that the one that support the price, which is the mainly the company and earnings that also determine whether there will be capital appreciation, and also there is a dividend payout. Yes, you know that liquidity plays a major role in any market. When there's liquidity and there's positive sentiment, where prices are about to skyrocket or for price to keep on flying. But as we speak now, most of the market, the prices are still moving gradually, not as because liquidity in the market is not too much for that. That is why we are seeing a kind of a slowdown, movement in what in uh, in uh, in prices. But back home here, I would say that it is not so in news again that the market for the month of August, the first week, I started on a good note. We saw the market closing at about 0.7%, 0.7% up for the week ended August 5th. But we are seeing that this morning, being the second week, the market started on a green note. But what I believe that is what pushed the market up last week was a result of the as almost most of the earnings, apart from the ones we are expected from the banking sector, these earnings that hit the market, I'll tell you, they beat expectation. Coupled also with the news of major stakeholder in Honeywell flour mill and Eternal Oil also increasing their stake by acquiring some percentage to what they have. That also have the kind of news that also supported the market last week. And I'll tell you, as this morning, Honeywell is still in that direction because of what that news. These are the things that also impact our market here positively for the week. Even though we expect that this week, as also we are looking forward to see the major players in the market in terms of that provide liquidity, which are the PFAs. Yet, as we speak, because they are not in the market, you can see that the volume traded last week was also very, very small compared to the average volume traded in our market. And that tells you that the fund in the market is low, and the liquidity in the market is low, and also the players that also bring that we call the smart money, that bring this hot money, they are not in the market for now. Why? They are still doing diligence on this number as they are digesting the earnings that are hit the market. You know that and the half year result is also very, very important for investors. And they, they are long-term investors. They are seeing what is happening, in the fixed income market. You can see that also what happened in the equity market. The fixed income market last week was too quiet, but you can see the equity market, was a little bit after, the market has somehow suffered kind of shock when the exchange rate hit as high as almost 710, 320. Oh, so that last week we saw a pullback in that currency down again. Let's see if it will sustain to downward. As we speak as at the Friday, we're seeing it currently around 600 and 30, 640. If that is maintained to go back to at 400 or 500, that would be a good one. This time that CPI also do more to mean that this currency, no problem in the exchange market is corrected, and that also support the market. I believe that despite all this happening, we have seen this impressive number from this company. It tells you that the price of our equity on the strength of their numbers are very, very, very cheap. Like I said, as most companies on the exchange, as we speak now, have released their 6 months results, scorecard to the market, and these numbers have revealed value for designing investors to take to action. So we are looking at the earnings that came from the oil and gas sector this morning before we go to technical to do what we call comparison analysis, combining the numbers that have been generated by the companies, from by market forces, and at the same time the derived numbers to kindly evaluate this company to know where we should be. Yes, we're starting the oil sector, like which I always encourage every one of us in this class that if you have not subscribed to Investdata, either our channel or you are not visiting our site, I think you are missing. For this talk we're going to discuss now, we have done details on it on analyst hangout on this sector, so that you can, if you have not subscribe and get access to that video now after the class. You can see how this sector as well digest or kind of discuss in that analysis hangout so that you get more details on it. But today we're going to look at it here. But after the class, like I said, always subscribe when this is posted to get alerts on your phone, on your email that a new video is put. That's why I say encourage you, always share your word, the link that we send to you for this class to your friends, your family members, your colleagues, even those that that also they need to also add another source of income. Because I tell you, no matter how rich you are, how poor you are, this market will accommodate everybody. So far you have that word investment education. That is between you and those on the street. If you have investment education, you invest wisely, you are not throwing bad wagon. Well, most of people before now, when the market crashed in 2008, that a lot of people were throwing bad wagon, not knowing what to do. But I tell you, our market has become so transparent that now education is there. Especially what we have been invested to educate people on how to sell what invest wisely and invest with data, and that is what you need. And what we're going to discuss today, you can see that we don't just give you the figure. The figure have been processed in Investdata. All you need to have here, we're going to discuss them. As I say, combining numbers that came from the company and those that came from the market, and those are also the right number. When I mean numbers from the companies, we're talking of this scorecard, this earnings that company release, your earnings, although your profit and profit after tax, but the the number that's being generated from the market, which is the force of demand and demand, are the price and the volume of the stock, because these are the forces of demand and supply. I mean, what the price they agreed for the day, and what volume they used to change. That's why I said that's the market forces the generated number. Why the derived number is the one that when you combine this company's number and that of the one generated by number by the market, that's why you have your P ratio. All this we want to look at to know exactly what is happening in this market. Once you're able to see these numbers, it's going to guide you, to know exactly whether these companies are undervalued or overpriced. You will see, and also it provides opportunity for you also to take advantage of this market, so that at the end of the day, you buy the right stock and also wait for what? For capital appreciation. This is what we want to discuss at this hour as we speak now. Yes, now we want to look at the oil and gas sector. We're looking at the number that came from Total. Total, I said, Total released a very flat number, but I would say missed one. We saw that total top line was up by 38.12%, moving from 151.33 billion to 209.0 billion. For me, it's a good one. Represent about 38 point. Then, but if you look at the PAT, which is the profit, that just flat about 5.7 up. For me, it's a flat number. But the good thing that I will tell you that total earning per share as at the second quarter is about 25 naira 12 kobo. The P ratio, as at this stage is 9.4 times. That means the return. The time that you take it to recoup your money in total. I think that the NE is 10.71%. Also look at the book value of the company per share is about 129. Then you look at the price to book. But the major thing I want to look at, what is the return on equity, and at the same time the profit margin. Return on equity for this stock is about 19.36%, which is for me is a good one. But for me it's a good one. But if you look at the price also, the price to book is about 1.81 times for the price. For me, it's also a good one. But looking at the stock and the dividend paying, consistency, for me, total is a good one. Then, if you want to look at the Seplat, because these are the numbers from this sector that we are looking at, Seplat is also a company to reckon with, because what is happening in the oil sector, we believe that all of them are enjoying a positive, fundamental news. But for Seplat being into crude business, and crude oil has been above $100 before pulling back as we speak now to almost like April low. But I believe that it was going to rebound. As we speak now, the Q2 number or half year result that came from Seplat is a fantastic number. I know you have seen it already. Moved from 420.44 billion to 219.21 billion, within about 82% up. This is a good one. With all the criteria and Investdata, this company met them, which is good. And the VAT, which is the bottom line, moved from 14.12 billion to 35.45 billion. Good one, within about 151.1% up. You can see this is very good. And the earning per share for half year, which is 6 months, about almost 60 naira, 59.87 naira. Then P ratio is about 23 point, about 23.9 times. Yes, you can see that the P ratio is up. I'll tell you that also the dividend paying model, it's not only period that you can use to value company, you can use other model, but I believe that this company is fairly priced. Look at the book value, it's almost around the 101,230 something, which also is good. But if you look at this company in terms of profit margin, I'll tell you this profit margin is good for this sector that is highly capital intense. You can see that their profit margin is about 16.17%. For me, it's up. For me, it's a good one for the stock. These are the things we're going to see in this comparison analysis. You can see that total was at just 4.80, and these are sectors that we know that is capital intense because of high cost associated with their operation and everything. You can see, and also the techniques that also technology that comes with that sector. But for me, Seplat has been consistent, good profit margin for this sector, and this is a company that have consistently paying dividend on a quarterly basis. We have seen this year alone, first quarter and second quarter, they have paid you almost 12 naira, 12 naira, depending on the exchange rate. That is a good one for me for Seplat. These are now we look for the internal oil. And internal oil, I'll tell you, these are the factors that really impact the market, for last week because of the news of the major stakeholder taking some position in that company. And you can see also these are factors also impacting that stock. And now consider the performance of the stock since the last measure that was done last year, 2021. With yes, the early 2021, as we speak, that it started reflecting on the numbers of uh, of internal. That tells you that there's something in for internal that you as a trader or investor should also look the way of internal or not as we speak. These are the things we're looking at for internal. Internal move from no the top line of internal move from 37 point no up to 38 billion to around four around from 38 billion to 57.21 billion. For me, this is a good one. 50.6% up. Also in that direction, no, we saw that the PAT moved from 433.5 million to 1.25 billion, representing about 189.26% up. And then the profit, what's it called? The EPS is up by up to almost a 1 naira EPS for second quarter. At the end of the year, you can easily forecast or project that this company earning per share for the full year are likely to 2 naira or 2 naira 10 kobo, and dividend no possibility also be there around them either 1 naira depending on the new policy that we're likely to see from the major stakeholder. Before now, consider their payout is not too attractive, but we don't know what the new major stakeholder that will bring to us a policy. But from what we're seeing, the merger or the acquisition that we're seeing that company has brought good things to the bottom line and top line of this company, which is good for investors. That's why I said merger and acquisition also help the company to build capacity depending on what on the angle you see it. You can see the impact of this merger on internal. Internal also have to speak now. The P ratio is around 6.7. This says that this stock is cheap, below 12 times. For me, it's a good one for this stock. And the earnings yield is 14% earnings yield for this period. And book value is around 10 naira, 25. We say that this stock is also undervalued, looking at the book value and the market value as we speak now. Then the profit margin I'll say is very poor, 2.19 per day, but also return on equities are at 9.37. These are the position of this company. Then if you look at Miss Oil, you can see that Miss Oil number also was up. You can see that most of these company numbers, apart from that from Adova, Miss Oil number was up, moved from 36.75 billion to 42.66 billion, then about 16.1% up, while the PAT also moved in that direction, up from 151.54 million to 351 million. This also is a good one for this stock, even about 132.2% up. The earning per share at Scoop is 115 kobo, and the P ratio is 12.52 times. Earnings, that's what it means. The yield is 7.99. For me, it's also low, but also not too bad. You can see that also. You can see here that the company book value for Miss Oil is about 57 naira. Then why the book price to book is also 0. The stock is cheap, but if you look at the profit margin, it's very low, 0. This out of it at all. Then you can tell that this also reflects the high capacity or income, the cost in that sector as we speak. Corn oil top line was up. You can see it here, up from corn oil top line was down by 16.84% from 64 billion to 56.25 billion, down by 16 points. This is the one that I would say, but the bottom line is up, by 70.6% from 1.6 billion to 1.8 billion up. No good, but I'll tell you, when a company top line is declining, you need to look at it. That means the market is losing its market, the company is losing its market, and at the same time, it's not breaking into new market, or the product they are selling is not so making a wave in the market. Is the sign. But the sector where we're and also corn oil, also the lubricant they are selling, that they are not selling. It's a company that you should look at what is happening. But the bottom line was up. If you look at the earning per share for for half year, it's about 2 naira 61 kobo for corn oil, and P ratio is at 9 points, which is also not too bad. And you can see any yield 10 points. Then if you look at the book value per share is at 34.01, and if you go to profit margin, it's very very poor, 3.22, and return on equity is just 7 point. You can see that this also has potential. Connect the price and the book value, that upside potential to also look at. If you come back to the last one here, you know that one result is not out. That's why one is not here. But look at the last one, which is Adova. Adova, as we speak now, the company, yes, top line is up, but the bottom line is not negative. At this for this second quarter, it declined by almost 164.5. And this is a company that has continued to expand by acquiring one or the other. At the same time, don't forget that recently they are among the ones that has able to buy the one of the oil field, which is good. But good thing that you need to know here as investor, this is how Owando started. Owando was trying to expand, to build capacity. At the end of the day, nothing has shown for that capacity. We are already seeing it in Adova. Yes, we believe that the management of Adova have to sit up. If not, well, this is not a good story for them. As they're expanding to grow their business, build their capacity, it's not reflecting on their performance. Yes, it might be because of cost, but I think it's time for them to think right. That since even since $10 sealed its own position, we have not seen a stronger number, even a payout that was strong to support the price. That's why price strong from that at 65 to almost below 10 naira before rebounding. Investor in this stock have to wait to confirm and upgrade the performance before they can take action in this company. But I believe that with this comparison, look at this number again. I'll tell you that most of the companies here has no value that you can look at. I can see the life of Templar, the life of Ghana Oil. Yes, corn oil, yes, we know that they are not consistent, but for those that want to play them, you have to play them with your eyes open, but also see that total, for me, for dividend consistency, the stock also to look at. Don't forget that as far that this company is able to pass the cost of their lubricant to consumers, we expect that the numbers for them to look up. Also don't forget that this new price that they are going to fix their price in the form of fuel pump price. For me, I believe that doesn't have the work also impacting them. For me, let's keep our hand crossed in this sector. I see potential here, especially as we're seeing the oil price remaining, and also energy crisis because of war in Russia. This has the work impacting this sector, for especially energy and the power sector are the ones going to benefit from this all that happening, and this sector is one of them. I believe that this also have a way of influencing their performance. Yes, quick one because of our time. We want to look at what is happening in the market right now as we speak. Like I said earlier, if you have not subscribed to our our YouTube, go to YouTube and search for Ambrose. You see our YouTube there, Ambrose Omodio. Then subscribe so that anytime we post an update, you get an alert and follow up. I think this morning we have posted the analyst hangout on this discussion, so I can also get more detail because of time. We have about almost 30 minutes to discuss them, but here we have less than because other things we want to do. We have detail and also other analyst perspective on that, so that it also guide your investment decision. As we speak now, if you look at technically, I think that the market is also trending good. On Friday, we saw on Friday market was up, like we discussed here in the morning at this time. Again, that market is likely to close up, but let's wait. Despite it was oscillating that hour at the midday we are discussing. As it tells me today again, I think the market is flat here, open in green, slightly in red now as we speak. Let's see how far the market will go. As we speak, the market is trading around the no 50,718 times 81. Market is down negative 3.52, protecting 0.001 down. And in the midst, we see that the market bread is also slightly flat because we're having 6 gainers as we speak and the 5 losers. These are signs that also, like I've said earlier, that liquidity in the market is very low. Like you can see, it's reflecting. Yes, we have seen impressive numbers that beat expectation. These better than expected numbers have not really attracted funds to the market because of what high interest rate that pushed most people away from getting cheap funds or getting cost fund at a lower cost. But who believe that when the big players, the PFAs, and also even in the next FPC meeting, we see that rate is left unchanged. These are the things that also put kind of put the market up again. Let's keep our finger crossed. But I believe that the market will also look up. As we speak, we're having 6 gainers and 5 losers. If you look at the top trade as we speak now in terms of volume, you can see that we're seeing LBN holding topping the chart, followed by Access Corp, have Jacob Gold, Honeywell, and ICO. These are the top trade in terms of volume. But as I said earlier, that we have 6 gainers. This top 6 gainers will have Jacob Gold leading, followed by Honeywell. No, still the United Capital. They can see no, I see the Jais Bank also and ICO Insurance. On the loser side, you can see there are five I've said earlier. It's being led by what Cabaton, followed by UPDC, Zenith Bank, UBA, and what Astele Bank. Because of our time, we want to look at this stock yesterday on Friday. Saw a pullback in Honeywell. We want to see how sustainable. Look at what is happening in UCAP. Then also chart Access Bank and LBN. If time permits us, look at what is happening in UPDC, why pullback and Zenith Bank. These are the things we want to look at this hour if time permits us because our time is factor. But I believe we still have let's see the one who can easily cover. Yeah, looking at this market here, you can see here the market is still an uptrend. But let's call up our indicators for our analysis that will help us this morning. We're calling up our MACD now at this hour. Let's look at our money flow, look at MACD, and our yes, yes. You can see our T line as we speak now. It's very, very important. I want to look at it. It will give us the position of the market at this hour. It's very, very important. Market, you can see it here slightly above the T line, but no, and also slightly down. It's above the T line, no, marginally you can see it here, there, but on it, you can see no flat to this hour. You can see the position, but let's look at it on a 1 hour, chart. What is happening? Very, very important. Look at 1 hour chart. What is happening in 1 hour chart? The 1 hour chart market is also the same, slightly above the T line. And fund is also, look at your money flow, you can see that it's just coming down gradually, just small. You can also that money, what is called MACD is telling that it has not become bearish on a hour chart, but still bullish. You can see that the market is trying to kind of like trend here. Let's see on a hour chart. Let's pick one. These are the market as we speak. As we go back to see the daily chart, we can show you can see here. You can see that money flow, money flow is looking up almost at 37 at this hour. Even the market is the front also entering the market gradually. If you look at what market closed on Friday around 34, and see now almost 37, good one. And this crossover we are seeing here on the daily chart is a good one. Seeing the blue chart try to cross from below. You can see it here. If you look at the histogram here, market almost turning bullish once it crossed to the other side. That is a bullish signal for the market. For me, it's a good one. It's a good sign. Let's keep our finger crossed as to what the market. Here is just the liquidity level that kept the market a bit flat. But I believe that once someone starts in the market and also people taking advantage of this impressive or better than expected earnings to take position in the market. But for same value, like what I that if really were a long-term investor, it's at the time for you to cherry pick stocks because most of the stocks are cheap. Now looking at the low P ratios of even the market generally, P ratio is low as some stocks have potential. I think I do that. I have what we call equalizing dividend paying policy. That's also a good one for investors to also look at. Yes, let's quickly look at some individual stocks. Let's quickly start from what is happening in LBNH. Let's look at NBNH. What's happening in that space. That's what's happening in that space. As we speak now, of our time. Let's see how our time is. You can take two again. Yes, on a day chart, you can see that you can see on a day chart for LBNH, good one. You can see positive day chart here. You can see volume here too. But the stock's been around the 11 naira now to speak now. Let's watch and see. You can see, but the good thing is that the money flow, that fund is leaving the stock. Even with this gain, the fund is looking down on the daily chart. I see that it's also flat here. Let people look at the 1 hour chart for LBNH. The 1 hour chart, you can see it's also the access group. Look at access group. Let's look at access group here. I see access. For me, access an opportunity. There's opportunity in access. You can see here. This is a 1 hour chart for access. But you can see it's sitting above the T line or flat on the line. But this signal we're seeing here, money flow looking down, and also MACD try to become bearish. Look at this here on a 1 hour chart. But quick one, look at the day chart. But this is the candle we're looking at. Yes, on the day candle, I'll tell you that access is not bad at all. You can see there above the T line. That's the decline. Money flow is looking well, and MACD is positive. If you're an access in your position, access is showing a sign of strength. Technically, you know that fundamentally the bank is not doing bad. These are the things we are looking at as access. The last one, because of our time, Let people at what is happening in this Honeywell. Let's look at what is happening in Honeywell. What is happening in Honeywell for what is happening in Honeywell. What is happening in Honeywell. Yes, on a day I can see Honeywell, like I always say that we see this kind between the T line and it's a sign of you also to take profit, which I said last Friday. You put by that Friday, this morning, can you see it's an opportunity for those that have not taken profit also take profit. For those that are thinking long, I think you should wait for it to pull back, you enter. Yes, because it's operating in the food sector, there's prospect in the stock, but I believe that this rally from 2 naira, 5 go to this price, create another opportunity for you to make profit. Take your profit to enter that look. Yes, looking at it, MACD and all those other technical results. These are positive work. We can see here the volume this morning is not much, but you can see on a day chart good. But this is a sign of also that's very weakness and a sign of weakness. Buyers and sellers struggle to put down and up. You need to say that yes, you are there, take profit. If you want to take position for long term, which will pull back for what. But finally, let's look at UCAP before I draw the curtain for today. This UCAP will be the last class. Yes, because our time is fast spent. United Capital. United Capital, this is stock that really shows strength. Consider is why I said you have to keep your eyes in the market. Volatility creates opportunity for you to make money. If you're looking at the market, you can see where they pull back here down to this level before the stock rebounded and rebound up and it stayed up until now. And that's why you can see that your cap is still positive. Look at the trade is trending still above the T line. MACD is positive for UCAP and money flow is also positive for UCAP. It tells you that this stock is also seeing but despite here I tell that this stock almost touched 13 naira, and once they break out of that 13 naira at another resistance level, when it comes to this level, you can see it here. Once you break it out, that's another move for Luca. But you can see signs are positive technically, also fundamentally, the stock is not being bad. For me, it's a stock to also watch. If you are here, if you're a trader, if you have entered at 9 naira, at this price, 13 naira, almost 12 something, take profit. When the pullback again can take position, you know that this company don't pay them and their dividend is going to come powerfully at the end of the year. For those that are long-term investors, fine. For those traders that go in and come out, those that enter at 9 naira, even at 10 naira, at almost at 10 naira, you only make up more than 18%. You can go in and out of the stock. For me, it's a good one. Yes, I would say thank you for your time. Our time is fast spent. As we the company here, I will still encourage you again. We're going to pull this discussion from the analyst hangout where our analysts discuss purely on oil and gas sector, oil and gas sector earnings performance, comparative analysis, which one to look at, why this one is good, why then get it all in the video. That's why you need to also subscribe and get updated whenever a new video or a new analysis or even a video on how to treat top and top and bottom also be discussed. You can also see them in that channel. Go there and get these videos. I will say thank you at this point. See you tomorrow again. Enjoy the rest of your trading day. I remain Ambrose. Thank you very much and have a great day.